Hello and welcome to the Jerry West episode of the Hoop Theory Podcast, aka episode 44. My name is Logan Wertman, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend, Jacob Roth. Jacob, how's it going?
It is going fantastic in the heat of Summer League. Well, it's about to wrap up. 17th, right? I think is the final regular time. But anyway, it's cooking. It's going. And my Celtics finally got a win.
Yeah. Have you been watching much of the Summer League? Or
more because I was intrigued by some guys. I wanted to see how J.D. Davidson was.
Yeah.
And he's bad at not bad at basketball, but he's just not ready yet, which is unfortunate because there's been three other guys on the Celtics Summer League roster. I'm like, those guys are closer to ready, up here. But he's a raw prospect. I think what else would you expect? But I think we got a steal in our second round because I think Jordan Walsh, is going to be in the rotation, which is awesome to get that in the second round. His shot is a little weird sometimes. It looks pure, tits up, but below that, it's a little bit wonky sometimes. He doesn't have a consistent setting of his feet, and that makes his hips weird. But his arms are always just
pure.
Also, Nebraska ball legend Sam Griesel had a pretty good game last night. That was nice to see. Didn't do a whole lot offensively, but on the defensive side, I'll look at it. I will bring it up.
Is he on the Celtics or?
Yeah, he's on the Celtics Summer League team. Sorry.
Okay.
And he was plus 12. Wasn't a menace on the defensive side of the ball. In 21 minutes. Plus 12, 8 points, 3 for 5 from the field. Didn't do anything really crazy, but the Celtics have been terrible in this Summer League.
Yeah.
They destroyed the Lakers and then beat the Magic terribly. But the Magic's the guys that are supposed to be young enough to be on the Magic Summer League team are the guys that have start, so their Summer League team is outside of Anthony Black, he's had spurts of he's pretty good at basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been paying super close attention to Summer League. I've watched some the Victor Wembanyama minutes and
that's a great thing that we need to touch on. It is Summer League. And half of the appeal of Victor Wembanyama is how he plays with other people and how he can play around other guys and elevate them also because he's got the passing. That's part of his whole package. So everyone around him is kind of suspect and trying to get their own and not trying to be a great team player because it's Summer League. You're fighting for a roster spot. You're going to get not to excuse that he's going to get bullied by people that are smaller than him because he did, and that looked bad in game 1. Game 2, it didn't look as bad, but he put more the basketball in the bucket more times. But I just feel we need to calm down. Remember, it's Summer League, and I think it's Ryan Russillo who said it, but it's Summer League should not change your opinion; it should enforce it. So don't let what happens in Summer League change what you think of a guy. But if you have an opinion he's not very good at basketball and then Summer League doesn't look like he's very good, that's probably okay to be he's probably not very good.
Yeah.
Don't let it totally change. So people are going crazy. This is old news because we've been removed a couple weeks here, but yeah, Wemby is going to be okay. He just is going to have to figure some stuff out. And how he's going to have to figure out how to get bigger, how to play bigger is the biggest thing because he doesn't play big. He plays he's 6'9", running around on the outside and doesn't use his big, scary frame all that often. Not frame, his height and length and all that.
Yeah, or I think maybe he could, instead of trying to play big, stop trying to play big. And
did you watch?
Yeah,
he's allergic to the paint.
Yeah, because he keeps getting pushed off. The thing is, he's trying to post up. He's trying to back people down. But why try that when you're just going to keep getting moved? I think he just needs to face people up and use his height over people.
Oh, okay, but that makes sense now that you're saying. But if that guy's 10 foot away from the basket, it's going in. He can almost just reach over your head and just put it in. But now I know what you're saying. Him trying to get right under the basket like other bigs do and be big like that. Now I know what you're saying.
People are just going to push him.
Offensively, he just avoided the paint. Um, which I just thought was weird. He would like try to do like dribble bys, and I'm like, your hands way up here when most people's hands are down here dribbling the basketball. So like when you dribble it, there's like a lot more air time for
Mm-hmm.
it to get swatted and stuff. But it'll be all things. It's growing pains. He'll figure it out. I
Yeah,
have
his second
no.
game was great. He
He
looked
looked better
great.
that
This,
second game
yeah, he
by
had like 27 and 12. I think he was like one of 11 or one of
one of
12,
13.
one of 13 in the first game. Yeah, so it was
Started
like
it was
night
like
and day.
started 0-9 and then went 1 for something after the
Yeah,
fact. But
I think the one shot he did make was a four. Was that the 4 point? He made a three on a foul, like an and 1 3.
I think so.
Yeah.
Defensively, he did a pretty good, okay job in that first game. He got baptized, which was all over everywhere by Kai Jones. But
Oh yeah. Yeah.
other than that, he had 5 blocks, and it's summer league, but 5 blocks, and one of them was obnoxious. He was standing on the free throw line, sees Brandon Miller trying to take a three,
Mm-hmm.
and from the time that Brandon Miller collected and started to pull up, Wemby launched and then still sent it back from the
Yeah.
3-point line. And there's just like things like that is where I'm like, he'll find a place. Is he going
Oh
to fulfill?
yeah. He has a very very high floor. Yes.
Is he going to be the LeBron that everybody was saying he's the best prospect since? Will he be there immediately? No, because he's not the like LeBron was so crazy because he was built like a king M1 Sherman tank and like could handle the abuse of people.
Yeah.
Wemby will just have to get bigger and get there. Chet Holmgren's a perfect example. It's summer league, the whole caveat, but he's bullying people and looks like a dog in the paint. Like he's just like, and he had the same problem last year, and that's why we didn't see him because he hurt himself in some dumb pickup game, messed up his ankle or leg or whatever it was.
Knee against LeBron.
Yeah,
He was defending LeBron on a layup on fast break. But yeah, and Chet's put on like what 10 pounds of muscle since he was
it,
drafted.
it feels like more. It looks like more than he plays like it's more than 10, but maybe it is only 10. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but it's
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the before and afters, like he definitely looks a lot more physically, menacing now, which helps. Like I feel like Vic will probably get there in a year from now. I'm sure he'll like the fact that has he turned 19 yet? He's either 18 or 19 right now. You're gonna see some growth there for sure. And
he's
yeah, but
19.
yeah.
2004, he was
2004,
born,
yeah.
which is crazy to think. That's
It's
weird.
nuts. Yeah.
But the other thing that like before we move on past the Wemby thing because we kind of jumped to it, but I don't know how much more we have on it. I think that last year the basketball gods looked and saw Chet and was like, "You have to have a rookie of the year race against Wemby. You're not playing."
Yeah.
Because I think it's gonna be Chet that wins it. If he play
you would bet on Chet over
yeah,
with the team that he's on? I feel like
that
he's
makes
not
it a little bit worse, like more difficult because he's not the only option. He's like the third or fourth.
Yeah.
But no, I think I still will take. I think Chet will look very good in his Ben Simmons rookie year.
The Ben Simmons rookie year.
I think.
Yeah.
And then another one, and then there wasn't a whole lot of time of it, but Scoot's a dude.
Oh yeah. He only played one game, right? And not even the whole.
Not even
game?
a full. It was like 2.25 quarters, 2.5 quarters.
Yeah.
But no, it's this class will be a lot of fun. It'll be very exciting. Not that Chet's part of this class, but this will just be a very exciting and surprise. Brandon Miller might not be crazy good. He might struggle out the gates, but we'll see how things go. But I kind of cut you off when you were talking about Wemby, but it's just a lot of summer league things happen. And I was like excited about him, and last week you were living your best life, and just had to splurt it out before I forgot it up here, and then just started rambling worse.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I don't remember what I was going to say, I guess, but I think overall, Victor Wembanyama, I'm excited for this next season, for his rookie season. And so far from what we've seen in the summer league, I don't think there's any reason to be like, doubtful of how good he's going to be. Like the issues that we've seen so far are exactly the issues that I feel like everybody knew he was going to have right out the gates. Kind of just like the Kristaps Porzingis effect that, the youngest or the young version of the guy that's like 7'2", 7'3" and above, when you get a Marcus Smart or a, in Wemby's case, since he's so much bigger, like a LeBron sized person basically on you, that's going to make life really hard. But I think, the way Kristaps figured it out was a good way. Like obviously now Kristaps actually can post up against guys like that. But initially how he got around it was not to just try, like, to best them in that department. It was more like moving his game to being more perimeter oriented and like facing up and just using his height to like get a release point over those guys, like basically punishing
the
the
Marcus
fact that,
Smarts of the world.
yeah, getting the advantage that he should always have over those guys, which is his height. So I think we'll see something like that develop. But just the shots that I feel like we'll see Vic take in this upcoming season will be interesting to see. Like I wonder if he's going to take one of those 3-point floaters like he did over in France quite a few times this past year. That'll be interesting to see. But anyways, so moving on from Summer League, there's a couple other things we wanted to talk about. One thing was something that Jacob was really excited to talk about last week, which we didn't end up recording an episode last week because I was out on vacation. So this is a week removed from being a story, I guess. But Jacob had some thoughts on, I think it was Grant Williams.
Yeah, and I was like going to more pose the question because the story hadn't came out yet. I think I'm not remembering the exact time, but I'm pretty sure he had just signed with
Dallas.
But like there was no details, and I was like, I wonder if there was, because it seemed like it was like a little late. I was like, was there ever a question if he was going to be a Celtic again? Because I always felt like he wasn't going to be. Like he was going to go somewhere else. Even though the money worked and all that type of stuff, it seemed like he was going to go somewhere else. Just because, and now after the fact, we have the luxury, hindsight being 2020, or we've just seen that, like, he said in an interview when he was down in Dallas talking about, like, yeah, my last 2 weeks in Boston, I wasn't the best professional, like, during this season. Like, he said he didn't handle it right and he would handle it different if he could do it again or something along those lines. So that, it just was able to see it there. And I think I saw recently, Joe Mazzulla just recently had an interview and talked about his relationship with Grant Williams as it stands now, but I didn't get a chance to read that before it popped up. But anyway, it just was, why isn't Jaylen Brown signed yet? I'm like, you don't have to. I get that. Like, you have until like October.
Are you wanting them to sign him to his max?
We've lost all of these things to be able, we've moved all these pieces to make room to stay under the apron. And I don't think it'll be a max with something weird. Also, for everyone that's stupid, he doesn't qualify for a no trade. They can't debate that. He's only been in the league 7 years. Stop bringing up the no trade. He doesn't qualify. Thank you. I've just seen that everywhere. Are they discussing a no trade? He can't have one. You have to be with the team for 4 years and be there for 8 years and be in the league for 8 years. And guess what? He's only going on 7 years, or he's been in the league 7 years, so he can't get the no trade. So stop bringing it up. The only thing is they'd be discussing, if there is like a really big debate, it'd be player or team option on a 5th year. That's like the only, or on the 4th. Is player or team option on the last year of the deal.
Yeah. Is it not have they already agreed on like that he's getting the Supermax, basically?
I feel like they have. I'm not like there's been nothing. This has been the most tight-lipped thing that, like, nothing's came out about it. Like, they had Brad Stevens on during one of the summer league games, and he's like, I probably shouldn't talk about it, but things are going good. Things are fine. Like, there's not. Yeah. He's like, things are going fine. So I'm sure it's just the nitty-gritty, like, weird specific things. And I've already spoke that I don't think he's. There's been moments where he's just like looks like he deserves one, and there's moments where he just doesn't look like he deserves one. And that's like it's a tough line to follow, but with how all the other cookies have crumbled, and I think that if Damian Lillard's agent would have been so like, you will not be getting a pleasant player if you're not the Miami Heat, I think that might have happened already. Like, I feel like Brad Stevens would have moved on that and been like, okay, sure, we've got the first round picks. I think there's 7 coming up in the next 2 years. We've got the second round picks. Lord knows Brad Stevens came the second round.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. It just, I don't know why it hasn't been done yet.
And so you want it to happen, and you think that...
I don't want to lose Jaylen Brown too. I don't want in a single offseason to lose Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, and Jaylen Brown for the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if they don't sign it, that means he's on the way out at some point. Like, whether
Probably.
that's an in-season trade
but
or...
who would you think there's a lot of teams out there that would give Jaylen Brown that contract, $305 million, the biggest contract in NBA history?
Probably. There's been bad contracts always.
Yeah, but the thing is, we all know it's a bad contract.
Well, no, but I think the reason that it might happen is when we've talked about it already, teams have to fill a certain amount of this. So if there's a team that's trying to be so reason. Dookie shoes, and I'm trying to, like, Charlotte, for example, but that doesn't work because all of their pieces they have that are young, Jaylen Brown would directly conflict with those. But like a Charlotte situation.
Who would he conflict with? Like
Miller.
Oh,
I guess he could fit in between Miller and Miller. I was like, just like the pieces that they want to have a bunch of playing time that would just like jam him right there, and it just wouldn't be. But, like, I feel like yes, it'll happen, and every year, it's just the next year, then that'll be the next biggest one. But the thing, other teams can't give him that giant money. Only the Celtics can, and that's where I don't know. Like, and maybe they'll do the thing where they'll be like, "We'll give you this extension that's like what everybody else can give you." But we're not going to give you this crazy, you're making more than Jason Tatum type of money.
Well, that's what he would be getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and because there's been all these things that is like Jaylen Brown's camp wants it to be known that he's not Tatum's sidekick. He's his equal.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I get that. And you should feel like that as trying to be like, but the way you play, unfortunately...
He should prove that he is that, I think, at this point. Yeah,
he should prove that he's Batman and Superman and not Batman and Robin. Like, he should prove that. And he's a super overqualified Robin. I'm not taking anything away from him at all. But, like, just step up in moments. Be there. And I'm not a Jaylen hater. I'm quite the opposite. I think it'll happen. What I think will happen is he'll get the giganormous amount of money, and they'll just have to pick up the pieces and figure out down the road. But just because of everything that's moved on. And also, F you, Los Angeles Clippers, expressing interest in Malcolm Brogdon now. F you. You're why I don't have my heart and soul anymore.
Yeah.
You don't get Malcolm Brogdon now, because screw you.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know, I'm just surprised that you are so... like quick to, or like so non-hesitant about locking up Jaylen Brown on that big of a deal.
In a couple of, like, let's say he's not that level, because I don't think he is. And I think this weird cat, like, he keeps getting better every year. I'm like, his usage changed so his numbers look better every year. He has improved as a player, but people are saying he makes these giant leaps every year as a player, and I'm like, slow down. Like, let's like maybe evaluate it that like his usage goes up, he gets more looks, and he'll be worth it because in what is it, 2 years? All of like his contract will just be like it's what people have, just because it's gonna break NBA records now.
Yeah,
because by the time that Luka's as good already. Who's gonna be up in 2 years? My brain is breaking.
Well, I guess
Shea? Is that like the Shea wave?
Shea just signed. No, Shea'll be good for a while. He was in the same class as Luka.
Oh, duh.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, he was. I think it would be... Anyways.
Actually, it's really nobody. I said that as a random number, but it's really nobody that's like young and going to get another crazy contract. Like,
yeah,
it
feels like
LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George, AD is kind of a big one.
Yeah, you might see him get something like that. I don't know. Maybe
Brandon
maybe
Ingram,
not.
Jamal Murray, Chris. Oh, never mind. Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be the year after that. Another one that doesn't count.
Okay, Brandon Ingram versus Jaylen Brown. Who would you rather have?
Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
If I didn't have Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
I don't think I'm delusional about how good Jaylen Brown is. I just
okay.
I just don't know. Like, we're just in a bad spot. I don't know what else to do because you don't want to just lose that asset. Same thing that Dallas, we've already talked about him a zillion times today. Kyrie, they didn't want to just be like, everybody's like, they paid Kyrie way too much because he barely played, blah, 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 blah. You can't just lose that asset. Like, you have to pay him. You spent how many firsts to bring him in? How many pieces to bring him in? You can't just lose that asset for free. So I would rather have a Jaylen Brown that will, and I don't think Jaylen Brown is going to Ben Simmons and sit and demand his money. I do not think that is who he is as a person. Just from, like, I think he likes basketball enough that won't happen.
Yeah.
But I would rather have just like a happy to be there Jaylen Brown. Like, that's just what I would rather have. And if it's overpaying on cap, that we would improve our rotational pieces more, which would be awesome. I just don't know what to do. Like, what would you do? Let's say this is Jamal Murray. Wanting more, not this contract, but wanting slightly more than he's worth. He's definitely piece number 2, but he wants that big money. And you're in this weird spot. I just don't know what to do. I feel like you have to bring him back because you can make it work budget-wise.
If it's Jamal Murray and
but just pretend that it works. You're still right under the second cap because you lost Aaron Gordon and you lost Bruce Brown and you lost all these people you love and care about. So money-wise, you're in the exact same situation as the Celtics. Jamal Murray wants big money because he had this crazy playoff run. You know what I mean? I think he just had.
I'd like them to sign him then, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, trying to put it in a perspective, I feel like that's how I feel about it. Because, like, I don't just want to lose him.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason why I guess it's so easy for me to be like, yeah, is because Jamal and Jokic are like a match made in heaven.
And that's not what we have.
Yeah. Tatum and Brown are like...
Not as bad as Simmons and Embiid, but like if there's 5 tiers of like the top is like match made in heaven and the bottom is Simmons and Embiid, they're like
in the middle-ish, yeah.
3-4. They're like low middle.
Yeah. Because they just don't complement each other super well.
They just don't. They're not oil and water bad. But one thing that I do like with Mazzulla is our offense, as compared to with Ime, felt less Tatum's turn, Jaylen's turn. It felt less like you get yours, I get mine. And that still happens sometimes, but it felt more like a cohesive, like...
Yeah, you guys led the league in passes per game.
It felt more like a cohesive, like, yeah, this play was drawn up for Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, but it wasn't this just like Carmelo in New York, ISO, put me at the top of the key and I'll just go do whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot more movement.
Like that's what it felt like last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it obviously worked fine-ish, but we did win a championship, so yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of Celtics talk.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes sense. I don't know where you guys will end up at the end of this year, but I think that's a good big 3 that you have there now with JT, JB, and KP. Just a bunch of letters.
And I think this will be a very KP, I think, will be more big man than he was before. Like, he'll go back to, like, not New York level big, where he was pretty much just like a 4 that would like run around and do whatever he wanted, and there was no real structure's not the right word. He just was the best player, so he just went and did whatever. But it'll be interesting to see how these 3 inhabit the court together. I think it'll work, but I'm just worried.
Yeah,
about our big depth again.
The thing I would be worried about is, again, like a table setter. Like, all 3 of the guys you have they're not engines of a team. Like, all 3 of them are guys, more finishers. You know, you get them set up in a spot for them to make their play, you know. But who's going to have the ball to get them in those spots, you know?
An interesting thought I had is I wonder because Tatum's never been in a good situation for that. He has like better ball handling capabilities than Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Does he shift into that? Maybe not this year, but like if this team's together for 2 years, 3 years, Marcus Smart's not going to be there as like the guy that was like the de facto point guard, because we've not had one since Terry Rozier. Isaiah Thomas. No, Terry Rozier.
Both of those guys were not that, though, really. I mean, they were point guards, but they weren't like distributors, really.
No, because we haven't had that since Rondo. Like, yeah. I don't know. If Tatum shifts into that slightly more, I don't know what happens. But it's been a need for forever as a guy that I've wanted Ricky Rubio for I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
High school, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
it would work. Would have worked. I don't know.
It definitely would have. The other right before he got to the Cavs, he was available for everybody, and yeah, that's what I was saying back then. But I don't even know where Rubio is right now. I don't know how much basketball he has left in him, but
I think he's done or he's in Cleveland.
he might still be in Cleveland. Yeah,
Unless I've
but
heard it.
after he tore his ACL, it hasn't really returned to where he was at right before that.
Rubio's only 32.
Yeah, but he's like he's had some injuries and he's not super athletic.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, he's with the Cavs still. Unless he's announced a retirement, he's still with the Cavs.
is he really only 32? That surprised me. I thought he was like 34 at least.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wow, only 30. Because I know he played in
Spain until
Spain
he
for a
was
while.
old enough to come over. Yeah.
And see, I think that's where my brain was like mixed up, is I didn't think he waited till he was old enough. I thought he came over like old. Like
Oh
that guy
no.
that's going to come play for OKC.
Which guy?
Uh,
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. The guy who's just the MVP of the EuroLeague.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm going to give the NBA a try.
Yeah, no, Rubio was like, he was a phenom. He's more like Luka. Like he was a phenom when he was like 16, 17.
Got drafted in 2009, and then didn't play in the NBA until 11, and I'm guessing that's age. Doing the math off the years.
Yeah, because where he got really famous in America, at least, was during the Olympics when Spain they beat us. I don't know. It was a really close game. It was a very competitive game where he played super well for Spain against the U.S. And he was only like 16.
2008 Beijing.
Yeah, he was only like 16 or 17 at the time, I think.
2008 would put him at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Because he was born in 1990.
Oh, yeah. But he started playing professionally in 2005 at the age of 14.
Oh, jeez Louise. That's crazy.
That's crazy, yeah. To think about being paid to play basketball for a living when you're 14 years old.
That's
in the second highest level of basketball in the world.
Also, this is a thing we could break down, probably do a whole episode on. Have you heard, so the NBA in-season tournament, two things, it's going to be awesome, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
How they have it constructed, I think it's going to be dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing is Bill Simmons brought up that if they turn it eventually into this soccer, where all the soccer leagues come together, Champions League, soccer, maybe, but where all of like the different soccer leagues come together for this
Champions League.
Champions League. Sure. So they do that, but for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that week would just turn into this craziness.
Like all the EuroLeague teams, you're saying? Is that what you're saying? 4
EuroLeague teams and 4 NBA teams, or 2-2 or whatever they want to do, and you could start involving other leagues if they went once other leagues. Because I think what's going to eventually happen is what you're kind of seeing happen with like soccer. Like there's still the upper echelon, but like the step below is not near as big of a step as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like basketball is just going to get there as the game grows outside of the U.S. more and more and more. I mean, we're already seeing the league being not run by European guys, but like the top.
There's a lot of Europeans.
4 of the top 5 guys in the MVP voting are international players.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Shout out Jason Tatum.
And I think we'll definitely start seeing more African representation as well with Embiid and just like the years of the NBA Cares program or whatever, what Masai Ujiri has been doing in developing like academies over there for young players. I'm sure we'll start seeing a lot more products of that. But yeah, so the other thing I guess we want to get to before we end here is I'll touch on the Suns. They, how they've been having to operate this offseason is by signing a bunch of league minimum deals because of their huge salary allocations going toward Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. Wow, I just messed up his name for a second. And then DeAndre Ayton. So with those 4 contracts, they're like, $1 bajillion. And so everybody else has to be on minimums to keep them below. Well, not even keep them below, because I'm pretty sure they're already in the second apron with those 4 deals.
Physical only contract they can sign.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's rookie deals is the only exception because rookies have to get like an
in
amount.
The lottery. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the only workaround that they would have.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the top 4 guys are a total salary cap hit of just shy of or just over $160 million, which isn't 160 the number for the second apron.
I think it's 172 actually. 172.
Okay. Because KD's 47.6, Brad Beal's 46.7, D-Book is 36, and then Ayton is 32.5.
And these are next year's numbers?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so but they're having to sign a bunch of minimum deals around there to build the team, build a roster, and I think they've done a really good job of that. They got like just super high quality guys for minimum deals. Like I think Utah Watanabe is a good pickup for that. I think Drew Eubanks, I think they added some centers in there because of the whole DeAndre Ayton, does he want to be there, does he not thing.
They have really good insurance if he decides halfway through, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Send me somewhere.
Yeah. They lost Jock Landale, didn't they?
Yes, because he got actual money.
Where did he go again? Rockets. Of course. They're signing everybody.
3 years, $32 million.
Yeah.
Oh, you want the other names they signed?
Yeah. That would be nice.
Okogie, Eric Gordon.
There was another center, wasn't there? Metu. Chimezi Metu. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, Keita Bates-Diop was, I think, a good pickup as well. I think there was, you said Eric Gordon. Somebody today, I think it was today at least, maybe it was yesterday, Bull, they picked up with a minimum.
That's wild that he's not on Spot Track.
Oh, is he not?
No.
I just saw that report at least today.
I know. I think it is right because I saw like a breakdown of it. Like somebody was like talking about how like that's where Bull will. Yeah, Woj tweeted it 3 hours ago. 1 year deal with the Suns.
Minimum.
And that'll be just Yep.
Yeah, and they traded Alfred Payton. No, not Alfred Payton. Wow, that was a blast from the past. Cam Payne. They traded Cam Payne for like a second rounder, I think, or a few second rounders maybe. They just started collecting like some picks, some draft capital since they have like none. So I thought that was another good move. Yeah, the Suns have just been doing a good job, honestly, and I think it's interesting because I don't know who it is making these moves because obviously James Jones is technically the GM there, but people have been saying, at least ever since Matt Ishbia has taken over, that Isaiah Thomas has basically been the like shadow GM.
Well, also, if you look at the names, is KD not just going LeBron mode?
What do you mean?
To a certain like if you look at the like list of guys, it's guys KD is like played with and knows work around him. Because wasn't it 3 or 4 former Nets? Watanabe.
Oh, Watanabe was
Bates-Diop.
I don't think he's ever played with Bates-Diop. Or maybe was Bates-Diop on the Nets at all? He might have been. I mean, I just remember Bates-Diop on the Timberwolves and the Spurs and the Nuggets. Really, I'm sure he's been other places, but
no, I might be off on that one. I just thought that like, where has he all played? He's never played with Bates-Diop. For some reason, I thought there was 3 or 4 guys that had played with him, whether it was just during his time around the league.
Yeah, I don't think he's played with Eric Gordon either. Metu, no. Eubanks, no.
I must just be high.
I guess it's just Utah Watanabe.
I'm just stupid. I thought there was more.
Well, he always really liked. I shouldn't say always because he only played 1 year with him, and it was like half a year. He really liked playing with Watanabe. It seemed like. Well,
because Watanabe's never going to do anything for himself, but if you put him in the right spot, he's good.
He's a 6'10"
for you.
6'10" hustle guy that's developed into a good shooter. He can play defense.
Put him in the corner.
Yeah.
On offense, and he'll fight. He'll fight for you on defense. And if you're KD, if you're that entire Suns team, you just want a bunch of those guys.
Yeah.
Because don't be such a net negative on the offensive side. You're useless, and we're playing 3-on-5 offensively, but on the defensive side, just kind of be a dog. Just get in there.
Yeah. I think that's going to help a lot because what they were missing last year was exactly that. Somebody to make shots when the ball gets swung to them because the defense is paying so much attention to KD and Devin Booker. But yeah, and now
Brad
Beal. Yeah. All right, so that concludes that. I guess the last thing we could touch on is Damian Lillard. That quote, I think it was from Jay Williams, right? I'm pretty sure. No, it wasn't Jay Williams. I think Jay Williams argued with it. Now I can't remember who said it. Somebody said something that Jacob had brought up right before we started recording, which was somebody said that Damian Lillard on the Heat. Oh, Paul Pierce said it. That's who it was.
Yes, it was Paul Pierce. And then he got ripped apart because he should have. Also, this brings up
I should probably finish what it is.
Yeah, I got distracted.
Damian Lillard to the Heat. Paul Pierce said that the Heat would not make the playoffs even if that trade happens, if Damian Lillard goes to the Heat, which the Heat won't be losing anything other than Tyler Hero really as far as players and maybe Jaime Jaquez. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of picks. But yeah, anyways, Jacob, continue.
Has any team in the history of the NBA used one championship more than that 08 Celtics roster? Kendrick Perkins is stumbling his way into replacing Van Gundy on ESPN broadcast as a co-commentator.
I hope that doesn't happen. But
well, no, also, we didn't give, what the heck are you doing, ESPN?
Yeah,
Van Gundy whined about refs, but you know what else he did? Provided insanely good insight that only, an elite-level coach could.
Yeah, I thought, that was pretty dumb. A lot of the layoffs that they had, which I don't even understand what the reason is, overarching reason for why they had to lay off.
I think that this guy's just started getting paid a lot.
Oh.
From what I understand, but I don't know anything behind the scenes. I don't know anything. I just know that they got rid of a lot of people that were very good.
Mm-hmm.
Is JJ on the NFL still there? Side. Huh?
Is JJ still there? JJ Redick?
Yes.
That's good. He's one of the few bright spots of ESPN for me right now.
But so NFL draft, there's Mel Kiper, and there's, oh my goodness, of course now I forget it, Todd McShay. They fired one of their if Shams and Woj worked for the same company, and then just one of them, they just fired them.
Both?
One of them. Just one of them.
Oh.
But the duality, that was, they lost maybe it will end up being the big hit, one of the biggest hits. Then they got rid of Matthew Berry, who was a huge fantasy guy. I don't get it. I will never understand it, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's weird move, ESPN. Just a weird move. You're already losing to Fox Sports in every way. On radio, on TV.
I didn't even know that. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, no.
In football, at least, you mean?
No, in everything.
In everything, wow.
Outside of basketball, because Fox Sports doesn't really
I was going to say, I don't ever watch Fox Sports for anything.
No, but Fox Sports Radio is Colin Cowherd, Dan Patrick. It's it just has this lineup that is just sauce. I'm trying to think who their early morning guy is on Fox Sports. But I don't even know if I can name a single ESPN radio show anymore. It used to be good, but it's just not the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because, anyway, this is a whole rabbit hole that's...
Yeah, the bright spot is, though, I'm sure Jeff Van Gundy will probably end up with Turner.
That'll be...
Mm-hmm. And...
Fox Sports doesn't have Dan Patrick anymore. Sorry, I forgot that Cowherd is now at the same time. No, they do have it. I'm stupid. Forget everything I'm saying.
Okay. And the other thing, I think Jalen Rose also got laid off with ESPN.
That was also a weird one because he was the first one to tell Skip Bayless to sit down.
Yeah.
One of the most uncomfortable moments that I've ever watched on television because it came up in a recent interview. Oh, no, because Bill Simmons did one with Stephen A. And I forgot about it, so I went and watched it again.
Yet, but...
Yeah. It was okay. It was two guys that you can tell are usually used to driving the ship of whatever thing they're on, and they just for like 15 minutes. It's like okay, just people figuring out how to do it, and then it works. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. It's an hour,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, there's all sorts of great things. But Dame, okay, what started this whole thing? What the heck? How do you think that Damian Lillard being plugged in just replace Tyler Hero, who they didn't have for the playoff run, and plug in Damian Lillard, and they won't make Paul? What?
Yeah.
Come on.
And it doesn't even sound like he's, I don't know. It doesn't really sound like he's factoring in the people that they lost as like a reason for why, like losing Max Strus and losing Gabe Vincent. But like the thing is,
which I think will hurt.
It will to a degree, but at the same time, the Heat are like so, like in terms of their replacement players, like it's like doesn't matter. Like they'll still do it. Like they'll still
find
good.
someone to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like Damian Lillard was going to haul the Portland Trailblazers, not entirely by himself, but was going to haul the Portland Trailblazers to the playoffs until they started sitting him at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So you take Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat cast that just did that in the playoffs and add that, and you think they get worse.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me at all. It's such a good match, like having Dame and Butler and Bam really as a big
it's just
three.
It's just going to be a bunch of dudes that love basketball and are just
and their skills complement each other.
Oh my! It's out of all of the Dame takes that I've seen, that is by far the most like what? Like, also, I am on Team Portland Trailblazers on this one. They should not take less because Dame asked them to. They need to find a third team so they get paid equivalent for their asset.
Which I heard
close to fair for their asset.
Yeah, which I heard. I'm gonna forget about it, but there was a team today I saw that said they're interested in Hero getting in on a 3-way deal. I can't remember who it was now. Might have been Washington,
Brooklyn.
No, might have been Brooklyn.
Oh, that was from 2 days ago. I'm just looking at.
No, it might have been Pistons. I can't remember now. I think it was a younger team, but I don't know. Maybe it was the Bucks even, which would not be a younger team, but maybe I just totally forgot. Anyways, regardless, I think I agree with you on the Portland thing that they should have to, bend the knee and just lose him for pennies on the dollar. I think that involving a third team would probably be the best way.
Well, and taking like a little less for your guy, totally fine.
Which that's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen.
They were going to take Miami was like, would you like this piece of bread for your car?
And the thing is
expecting them to take it.
And the thing is, this bread is like, it's really great bread for like a lot of teams, but for your team, it's like it's unneeded. Yeah,
it's like being allergic to sunflowers and getting 9-grain bread. It just doesn't make sense.
Tyler Hero does not make sense for the Portland Trailblazers now.
The same reason that if this sentence for everyone, don't clip this incorrectly, sir. I'm just kidding. You don't do that. The same way that if the Blazers are committed to going young with their young core, Damian Lillard doesn't make sense for the Trailblazers if they're going to keep using all these young pieces. Because he does in every way, because that's what he's done the past 11 years of his life, is been the perfect thing for the Trailblazers. But if they're trying to move forward past Dame, keeping Dame on that team is detrimental to all of those young guys because they all do the same thing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guards. There's a lot of guards.
They just went and found Bulldog Damian Lillard. That's what Scoot is. Not in the skill set, but just this short point guard, like a truck.
Yeah.
I just want the NBA to be great again. It's just kidding. It is great. It's not great again. This is already great, but this will be a thing that it will shake up a lot.
For sure.
To counter Paul Pierce's point, if the Miami Heat give up what they had to give up, are they not favorites in the East or almost?
It's either them or the Bucks, probably. Or Celtics are
Them or
up there.
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Celtics are in this weird world because nobody knows what's going on.
yeah, but I still think they're probably towards it. They're hovering
Not that
around
it's
top.
not close, but they have to be a top 3 team.
Probably, yeah.
If this happens, honestly, even if they don't have to give up any more on court assets and just future assets in terms of picks.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But this will be a thing that I feel like we'll have to talk about many more episodes. I don't think it'll be a very quick, wrapped up, buttoned up topic, unfortunately. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, and we'll hit stop recording, and then breaking news: Damian Lillard is a Oklahoma City Thunder player. Wow. I just picked a random team.
Mm-hmm.
That would also be equivalent to the 9-grain bread and being allergic to sunflowers. Let's send him to OKC. A little bit better.
Yeah, it would be a little bit better, but
not by much.
Not by much.
Dame is a Golden State Warrior.
Yeah, that one would be weird. Dame, CP3, and Steph.
So do they have Dame run the 3? Or no, they boot Chris Paul to the bench for sure.
Yeah, which I might even be how they're going to do it already. We haven't talked about that yet, but I think CP3 might be the 6th man.
6th man of the year, though. Also, is there a better guy to run, better play style point guard that like slows the game down when you have like your bench unit in? Like almost always, like slowing the game down and just being like, okay, Jonathan Kuminga, you know how to shoot a basketball.
Yeah, it'll be.
He's
like
still there,
that.
right? He wasn't gone.
Kuminga's still there. Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure he didn't get shipped off in weird thing. Oh, it's Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
So, but like, I just feel like that's going to be shout out to, I guess, who's the GM now? Who made that trade?
I can't remember.
Well, we're just gonna call it Joe Lacob. It probably was him anyway.
Yeah.
Owner Joe Lacob, GM.
I know it. I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's a new guy.
Yeah, because Mike Dunleavy?
Oh, yeah, Mike Dunleavy. Yep, I knew that. The former player.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's the new.
It was Bob Myers for forever.
Mm-hmm. And I think Mike Dunleavy has been there for a while in like the assistant
6
role.
years, it appears.
So, but he's the new GM.
So whoever made the deal, good on you, because I think it'll develop the pieces you have. If Chris Paul's okay taking that like 20 minutes a game off the bench, which maybe he's like, that's best for my career.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. It'll be. I mean, Kyle Lowry's really succeeded in that. And I think Chris Paul's just kind of like a better version of Kyle Lowry at this point, probably.
Well, no, and then if like Steph was able to dodge the injuries for a while, but he had a very rough injury start of his career, and they've started to pop up here again as he's gotten a little bit older.
Yep.
Not that Chris Paul's reliable, but that's pretty gosh darn good insurance to be like, oh man, Steph's out tonight, we should rest him. Who's it's Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still playing pretty good basketball.
Yeah. The more time that has passed since this deal has happened, the more I like the fit, honestly.
It's just all reliant on buy-in from Chris Paul for it to work.
Yeah.
Chris Paul has to be willing to be like, okay, I'm still a great basketball player, but I'm just in a different role, and I need to embrace that role.
Which he seems to be the type of guy to do that, to be honest.
Not that but that, like, if he doesn't, then this won't work. It'll be unfortunate. Not that I think it tanks the Warriors' chances to get anything done, but I think that it will not be beneficial, obviously.
Yeah. I'm still liking my Nuggets as number 1 seed in the way too early power rankings in the West, but Warriors and Suns are up there.
I would say in the NBA, probably. It's like Nuggets.
Milwaukee probably be up there.
We'll go healthy Milwaukee. Then I'll go Suns, Lakers, Heat, depending on what happens.
Yeah.
And then Warriors, Celtics fall in somewhere in there. It's just weird to think that, like, Warriors, good basketball team. Celtics, good basketball team. 7 and 8 in the NBA. That's wild. With how, like, just... And it's not even that the league's top heavy. It's just that there's some teams that have positioned themselves.
The league is not top heavy.
The league is ready for the 32-team explosion to happen. Yeah. Seattle and Vegas, right?
That's at least what has been said for like the past few years now is like going to happen.
Will they like do we're going to go to 34 fast and do a...
I doubt they do that. But
okay, so then do they just move Minnesota?
Oh no, Memphis will go over to the East.
Memphis So then what's the other one? Well, they need
No, they just need one to go over to because it'll be 16 and 16.
Oh, duh. Memphis. I always forget about Memphis.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Or do they just restructure it entirely?
I doubt it. I think they just move because
Memphis
used to be in the East, and now like they're just putting back over there. But anyways, yeah. So I think that'll and Vegas. The thing is, Seattle's like the one that's more unconfirmed. Las Vegas is basically 100% happening because they are almost done building that huge arena that they're building.
Does it happen after LeBron retires? Because Adam Silver bowed to his overlord LeBron? Because he's told Adam, like, there's been like open. He was like, Adam, when we get a team. Sorry, I should just talk normal so people don't claim I'm being a jerk. Hey, Adam, when we get a team here in Las Vegas, I want a part of it. What did his interview say? Like, he said it like in the middle of a speech thing.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Was it a basketball team? I just heard like a Las Vegas sports team, and I don't know.
Well, I just remember that he addressed Adam Silver by name.
Was it kind of like a joking thing? Like a half serious, half joking, probably.
Okay, it was on the shop. Is when it first was revealed.
On his show, yeah.
Quote, I would much rather own a team before I talk. I want a team in Vegas. I want the team in Vegas. Then I was looking like an idiot because I was waiting because there's a YouTuber or not YouTube, a Twitter clip that has it, but I am running out of time.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is enough content for the gamers.
I think it is
out there on the internet. Also, we need to make fun of the Lakers more because people get very mad.
Yeah.
I don't look at TikTok ever because I don't have it, so I got on my wife's TikTok and looked at the comments.
Oh, from the LeBron beefing with Michael Malone one? That one?
Wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. On the other one where we're like directly making fun of the Lakers with the
that they don't claim
George Mikan, yeah, there wasn't any comments disagreeing with us there, but which was surprising.
But yeah, so sorry, Lakers fans. Whether you, I don't care about you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Get wrecked in the Summer League. How does that feel? Taking the L to the Boston Celtics in Summer League.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see Roby's new braids on the Knicks?
No.
Yeah, he's got cornrows.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, looks
Go
like
back and listen to the interview with Roby.
Yeah.
On this podcast.
Episode 14.
So people don't think we're big time. Guess what? We have an NBA player on ours. How many other fledgling podcasts have that?
Yeah.
Probably not a very big number.
Mm-hmm.
Just probably not that out there. Episode 14. Book it. Also, if while you're sitting there looking at the links down below, click on Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, and go look at YouTube or wherever else you find your podcasts.
Yeah.
If you're not watching this, or you'd like to watch it and see little clips taken out of me being mad, TikTok,
YouTube, yeah.
Facebook.
All those places.
No, not Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook too.
And Facebook. Just check it out.
That's just under my name though, Logan Wortman. So
okay, so all you people also that are saying that I'm dumb, I am, but look at the full context before you throw hate and slander. That is all. Peace.
That was a nice outro. I didn't even have to do anything.
Did I hit everything?
It works for me.